Well, hello, gang. Troy W. Hudson, the voiceover with personality. There we go. It is 5 o'clock on the East Coast. It is 2 p.m. on the way out there on the Pacific Coast, over there, Pacific time. And it is time for another voiceover weekly stew. Now, what I think I'm doing right now is I think I am actually multicasting the very first time I've tried to do this with Restream on Facebook Live, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn. And so I don't really know if I am or not. If you are on any of those platforms, if you want to chime in and let me know, I think with all this broadband being used, I'm not sure if I'm in sync right now. I kind of sort of think I am. And so I'm going to assume everything is ticking along right. That the software is working right, and that I have gotten my money's worth out of the subscription fee to pay to Restream. So, I hope so. Who am I, and who are you? And first of all, I know who I am, and I just want to welcome you to the live. Facebook, thank you, Lori, for chiming in and letting me know that we're on Facebook. So, Facebook down, and I think I can see, what's this? YouTube. Hi, Troy. Let me try this feature right here. Yep, there's Lori. And Jim watching on YouTube, a little bit out of sync here. Audio just a smidge behind the video. I'm not going to mess with the settings at this point because I'm afraid I'll break something, to be honest with you. I wasn't sure if this was going to be a train wreck or not. Hopefully it's not. First of all, let me go back to welcoming you. Welcome, 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 welcome. Wherever you're watching, if you are taking the time out on a Friday afternoon to actually spend some time watching this guy, a voiceover actor in a padded room in South Carolina, then I welcome you. If you are a voice actor, welcome. If you are a self-employed entrepreneur, Facebook looks good. Thank you, Tiffany. If you are working at all, if you're curious about voice acting, whatever it may be, my voiceover weekly stew is essentially just about a half hour to 45-minute recap of my week, lessons I've learned, things I may have come across, things I want to share along the way. Let me ask you another question before I move into the content here. And I'm hoping this will go no more than 30, 45 minutes, just if you're planning on like hitting the road or, tuning out and having a cold one or whatever you're planning on doing on a Friday afternoon. For you folks on the East Coast, for you other folks, just get busy. And for you folks around the world, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So what I want to know is the live tab normally gets put, I believe, up here somewhere. Yeah, I think, on the platforms. So I made a point of moving my logo and website, blatant product placement right there, over here. And I'm curious if it's being blocked or if it's actually visible, if I need to move it back over. So I'll get to that later if I need to do it on the replay. And if you're watching on the replay, thanks for sticking around this long just to watch me kind of fumble through the initial multicasting issues. And thank you, Jim. I will look at that on YouTube and see if there's anything I can do about that. So let me see. I know I'm going to bring up something later. Yeah, okay, I got it. Something on my phone I had to check. So there you go. And Lori, thank you very much. This interactive stuff is just crazy cool. I mean, it's like you're sitting there going, when is it going to get to something interesting to do it? And start saying something that I really want to hear. So let's get into it. Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Jim. You folks are amazing. Not blocked by live. Thank you. So now into the content stuff of what I do. I'm a professional voice actor. I've been doing this full time for about 8 years. Now, I'm going to repeat a little bit of this because I've done some Facebook Lives, but this is the first time I've been on my YouTube channel live, and this is the first time I've been on LinkedIn live. LinkedIn, is a little side story about that. LinkedIn, you just can't push a button and go live on LinkedIn like Facebook and YouTube allow you to do. there's an application process I found out about 6 months ago, and somebody who was doing a live video said, yeah, you need to put in an application. So I put in an application on LinkedIn and heard nothing whatsoever. And they said, if you don't hear anything, that means there's nothing to be, you haven't been approved. And so at the time, I wasn't doing any live videos. I wasn't doing any live video streams anywhere. Waited a few months after that, then decided to give it another shot. Did it again, put it in, nothing. And then in June, mid-June, I started doing Facebook Lives and did them through the early part of July, which is just a couple of weeks ago. And so I put in the application again, and lo and behold, I think the reason I got approved to go on LinkedIn was because I had proof that I was already doing live videos on other platforms, or on a other platform, which was Facebook Live. They looked at it, they said, okay, he's done 2 or 3 of them, maybe 4 of them. This looks like something that he's going to continue, and he's got some content putting out there that's worth, being distributed on LinkedIn. So if you are in the midst of applying, and I'm not saying that's the stamp just because you've put some live streams out there. I don't know for sure, but I do know that it worked for me, and I don't think it was a coincidence. 2 strikes, and then the 3rd time up, I said, well, here's my Facebook page, and these are the things I do, and this is a still image, and I shared that with them, and they were cool with it. So lo and behold, LinkedIn sent me an email on Sunday, and on Sunday I said, you know what? I'm going to try the multicasting thing. I'm going to look at Restream. I'm already doing what I'm doing right now through Ecamm Live because I'm on a Mac. Ecamm Live is a piece of software that is native on it's on my computer, so it's not running in a browser. It's a separate thing. If you want to see it real quick, I will show you the live demo mode. And so essentially, all this stuff around me in the live demo mode on Ecamm Live, see if I can get it, I think somewhere, I don't know, it's hard to tell. There's scenes, and there's audio, and there's graphics, and there's sound effects, and there's mute buttons, and there's comments and reactions on, I guess would be left side of the screen. Yeah, maybe the right side. I can't tell. Anyway, I'm not mirrored, but it's weird. I'm looking, and if you're seeing what I'm saying, then it's on my right side of the screen. Anyway, so that's what I'm seeing in Ecamm Live. So that's Ecamm Live. That's what's helping me go out here with the multiple sources you're about to see in just a second, of video and graphics and things like that. And I'm going to be able to bring my phone in too. I'm not trying to wow with the technology. I'm only using it as a tool to kind of share some of the stuff I've done this past week, and thus the stew is just kind of a hodgepodge of different things that I've got going on. Let me transition now into some of the wild and wacky things that I've been doing the last week or so. One of the things I wanted to bring up, and a lot of you folks can probably relate, is I haven't had a day off in about 2.5 weeks. I have not taken a day off because I've not been able to take a day off. I'm a single solopreneur, voice actor, self-employed situation. So I'm not working for a company. I do work for companies. I do work for lots of individuals, production companies all over the world, various job sites I'm on. And so I have a fairly packed schedule. I think I'm frozen. Now I'm back. I have a fairly packed schedule. So that schedule has not allowed me, my logo is not looking clear. It should be on the right side with a black background. I'm guessing that's a graphic design person, and I appreciate that. You are right, because I can see now up there at the top. You are absolutely right, because if I were to, watch this magic. Come on now. If I were to slide it over here, it's on the black, right? So it's easier to see. But if I have it over here, it's competing against that green right there, huh? Yeah, that's what you're seeing. Yep. I know, Lori. It's ebb and flow. It really is in this business. Anyway, thank you. I will address that. Thank you, IGFX, watching on YouTube right now. It's a great point. I just now looked up and saw that because you pointed that out. You must be an amazing graphic person. I'm guessing just by the name of the YouTube channel. Anyway, where was I? Balancing, oh yeah, work-life balance, along with balancing all the stuff on the screen and trying to keep it straight. All right, let me focus for a second. That doesn't mean you can't comment. Please chime in if you want to, ask questions. We'll see where this thing goes. I have an agenda. I have bullet points. I want to keep it together. All right, thank you very much. It does look good on the right side. Yes. Oh, once I get some black back there to give it a little contrast off that background. Yeah, this is kind of bugging me now. Kind of bugging me like, get out. Okay, anyway. We'll address that later on the next video. So work-life balance. This past Wednesday, I've not been taking any time off. I've had heavy schedule, heavy work. Recording in the morning when it's cooler, like when it's about 85. I have to turn the AC off, so in the afternoon I'm doing most of my editing for both long and short form, mostly long form stuff. But I'm doing all different kind of stuff, commercials, narrations, e-learning. The e-learning is usually longer, so I save that in the afternoon. When it's like 95, 100 degrees outside, I can turn the air back on, but when I'm recording, I can't. So my schedule's been like packed in the morning for recording, and then in the afternoon, you know, I'm doing all the editing. And so that just makes for very long days. Wednesday, I put in 14 and a half hours. And that was a long, long day. And you're thinking, what, sitting there in a computer cool room? I mean, come on. It's exhausting mentally. And it's just a long time to have your butt in one place, even though I do get up and run outside with the pups from time to time when they remind me it's time to do that. Who needs a smartwatch when you have, you know, golden retrievers that'll help you do that? So anyway, transition from that now into what I want to share with you first is a project I did the first part of this week. I think it was on Monday morning. I worked with a company in Columbia, South Carolina, a studio called Zero Gravity. Shout out! Zero Gravity is an amazing company. They've been in business for years and years. They've got a full studio. And I came to them with this project that a client wanted me to do. Normally it's voiceover requests. You know, that's 99.8. Last check, it was 99.872%, Troy. Thank you. Anyway, it's most of all my work is just VO straight. But the occasional request comes in and they ask, can you do on camera? And I say, well, of course I can do on camera. Don't I look like I do on camera all the time? I don't really say that. But what is fun to do is to rise to that challenge, to take up that opportunity and say, well, of course I do. I can do that for you. And so I called my good friends at Zero Gravity, Keith and Lee, who were there at the time, and they said, absolutely, come on in, we'll take care of you. And so the client didn't really give me, that hired me to do the on-camera pieces. It was for an insurance company. They did not really tell me much except use your best judgment on wardrobe and make it fun. And I said, insurance, on camera, I'll make it fun. Not really fun because the scripts didn't lend themselves to that, but I did have the option of trying to figure out, all right, I knew I was going to shoot in 4K, me in 4K, really big. It was kind of scary doing the editing, cleaning it up afterwards, but it was kind of cool to know that my computer could handle 4K after the fact, a little color nudge here and there. Thank you, Lee, one of the editors there at Zero Gravity. But Lee and Keith helped me get through 3 different wardrobe changes. I changed myself, but you know, they shot it and gave me comments on it. And what I'll show you next is the 3 scenes. I won't play the audio, but the 3 scenes where I appeared and a caption underneath of what I call them, the on-camera segments, and it was done on green screen so the client could later key the background out. So here we go. This is scene number 1. And this is the hipster Don Johnson look with the white t-shirt and the blazer. And that was the hipster Don Johnson look option I gave them. And the next one is the the corporate dude look, the classic powder blue shirt with the blazer and the khakis, and there I am looking very intelligent, talking about insurance. And finally, the Bubblegum Salesman, as I like to call him. Look at that belly. Talk about being able to laugh at yourself. This one, I can only hope it will not be used. So the Don Johnson hipster dude, the corporate guy, and finally, the Bubblegum Salesman. So, yep, that was me in front of the camera. And they intentionally said, don't wear a tie. Otherwise, I would have worn a tie, stuck with the powder blue, gray coat look, and just done the corporate guy doing his thing. But that was not what he wanted. So they liked it on this particular job site. After doing that, after sending it to them, Zero Gravity gave me the files. I brought them home. I cleaned them up in Adobe Premiere, and then I exported them out in Dropbox. The client looked at them, loved them, thankfully, because to go back would have been, crazy to do that. It's not like a pickup in audio. Pickup in video is like rebook the studio, redo it. And so thankfully none of that. And the job site that I was on, they left me a nice, juicy little tip. So I appreciated that. And yeah, it was kind of cool. And the guys at Zero Gravity were extremely kind, extremely generous, extremely professional, made my job really easy. The only thing I can say is, boy, is it hot under dim lights. It is very hot under dim lights. What I want to share with you now is a project I did. It's a video clip. Inouamare. It took me a long time to learn how to say that. I had to keep stopping and starting on the voiceover. It is an environmental piece that I thought turned out really well. The producers put it together and they shared the link with me. This was one of the projects I worked on this week. And, well, hope you enjoy it. The seas and oceans are our greatest source of biodiversity. They cover 71% of the Earth's surface and contain 90% of the biosphere. European marine waters cover 3 million square kilometers, equaling the total landmass of Europe. 50% of Europe's territory is under the sea. The Adriatic Sea is facing major impacts from overfishing and pollution, which is the result of discarded plastic objects. Oil pollution, which can lead to significant poisoning and death of fish, as well as the disappearance of the plant world on which human health also depends. The Inouamare journey began a year and a half ago with understanding how huge the problem of sea pollution is and how it will affect us in the near future. Sea pollution doesn't affect only the environment and its biodiversity, but also has a significant economical effect on sectors such as traffic, aquaculture, tourism, etc. By learning more about this problem, we saw an opportunity for SMEs, small and medium-sized enterprises, and scientific research institutions to develop new innovative solutions in robotics and sensors to boost cooperation and open new markets.
Many people confuse the terms creativity with innovation. Creativity can be the act of a single individual, while innovation is not. Innovation requires many actors. That can be many individuals working together. It can be many companies collaborating, for example, suppliers and clients all together. But innovation requires also external stakeholders and external conditions, such as, for example, policymakers.
Where we have a challenge, we see opportunities. Opportunities for companies, research development institutions, and local and regional government to jointly develop new innovative solutions that could tackle this.
So we believe that with In Nova Mare, we can work together for the future of the Adriatic Sea, sharing knowledge, technologies, data, and competencies.
The main goal of the Innova Mare project is to develop an innovation ecosystem through establishing a digital innovation hub in Šibenik, with a branch in Italy, and as a digital tool, a cross-border interactive web platform. It will enable us to establish a network for cooperation, collaboration, exchange of knowledge and information for the development of innovative technological solutions that will have a significant impact on monitoring and prevention of sea pollution. So Innova Mare, did I say it right that time? I did get it. Innova Mare. It was actually a mix between an Italian and Serbian group of companies, but an awesome, awesome cause. And obviously taking care of the world, taking care and being good stewards of the planet, watching out for the oceans. Go from that to something like this. Like I said, I do occasionally do more on-camera stuff, but a lot of times it's just in here, and it's kind of goofing around intro stuff. That clients I've worked with for a while are like, I saw you do a video. Can you do something for us? This is a company called Star Fireworks. I said Innova Mare, and I can't say Star. Star Fireworks in Fargo, North Dakota. They were celebrating a convention, the National Fireworks Show in Tennessee, and they were celebrating their 100th podcast episode, and so they asked me to do an opening for them, but they said, we want you to do that, on-camera thing you did, put our bug graphic in the corner. And so right here, I was sitting, and so this was the Star Fireworks intro, and had a little, added a plug-in effect to record, gave a little echo reverb using the Universal Audio Apollo plug-in. I can't remember which one it was. Anyway, it gave kind of a voice effect, and had the strobe going on in the background with the lights. Right now, they're just, unobtrusive. They're back there and just being green and lovely right now. But this was the intro for Star Fireworks. From Kingsport, Tennessee, the site of NFA Expo 2020, this is the Fireworks Brigade, starring Johnny Starr and Ron the Banker. This here very special Pyro podcast celebrating the people and passion of fireworks is brought to y'all by Star Fireworks in Fargo, North Dakota. And now celebrating 100 episodes of Pyro Power, here's Johnny Starr and Ron the Banker. Yeah, so I thought I threw that in there as kind of a lark. I did it normal voiced like this, with of course, but I threw that in as kind of a goof off, just whatever, because I just want to do a little bit of this here. And a little Southern slang thing going on. And I think they probably are going to use that one. Always throw in a little extra one. I did 3 or 4 straight, and then the last one kind of goofball. So getting to do that kind of stuff is always fun. As voice actors, our voices get used in so many different ways. It used to be just pretty much radio and television. I can honestly say the amount of work that I do for actual broadcast radio, TV is very small in comparison to online, YouTube, Facebook, all the social media channels. Last week I talked about a spot that I did that was shot in I think it was like a 4:5 ratio, which is essentially just the straight vertical, with your phone kind of thing here. And so it was designed for that, to play full screen on a phone, and it was for an energy bar. And so it was just done for that. One of the big places it's used beyond just on devices, one of the big devices, of course, that people have in their homes is, should I say it? Should I make everybody's go nuts? I won't do it. It's, hey, what's your name, girl? You know what I'm talking about. You know her name. Sounds like Alex, ends with Hope that was safe. I didn't set everybody's off. I didn't set mine off in the other room. she gets fussy if I don't follow up and say something else. Anyway, so actually I jumped ahead, but I'm going to do this now. I wanted to show this right here. Okay, so I've been doing something. My head's cut off. Should have checked that before. I have. That's the front of my phone. If you're wondering what that is, I've been doing something called Word of the Day for a company called Volley, and it's like an Amazon. I don't know if you call it app, but it's so many audio-driven things on Amazon, all over the place, and on different devices. They have me do like 3 or 4 months ahead, and then this particular app, you can download the Volley app, and it gives you a daily word of the day. And so I read a word of the day, I give the roots, and I've learned so much. I have learned so much, and I highly recommend it. Anyway, let me just play one. This was the one for today, salutary. I just wrapped up 4 months worth of them earlier this week, and so that contributed to my long days and nights of editing. It was about a 14,000 word script for every word of the day for the next 4 months. This one is today's. This was done months ago. Anyway, this is what it sounds like on the phone.
Here is Word of the Day on Volley FM.
Today's word of the day is salutary. S-A-L-U-T-A-R-Y. Salutary is an adjective that means beneficial or useful. The Latin word solus means health, and depending on the context, our word of the day may mean promoting health, or it may be used more broadly to describe anything helpful or beneficial. The first tech guy gave us lots of advice for repairing our computers, but in the end, none of his advice was salutary. We had no choice but to find another tech guy whose service was more helpful. Once again, salutary is spelled S-A-L-U-T-A-R-Y. Thank you, Troy. So I have to make sure I'm not muted. I'm muting and, it's not good for what I'm doing. So that's an example of like an app where your voice gets used for a word of the day thing. And so that was a cool thing that I've been able to do for the last 2.5 years now. So if you find that on Amazon with a you-know-who, check it out. Let me know what you think. What I want to share, this next thing I'm super excited about. This is the Samaritan's Purse website. I don't have audio to play for you yet, but I was blessed to be chosen to be. You see that little box, that little like box in the plane that says Samaritan's Purse? Let me zoom in here. Right there, Operation Christmas Child. I got chosen to do. Let me scroll down here and let you see this. They have what's called, or they're going to roll out very soon, what's called a discipleship program for all of, there it is, it's called The Greatest Journey. After receiving shoebox gifts, many kids are invited back to participate in our discipleship program. It's called The Greatest Journey. It is a 12-lesson course which includes Bible stories, scripture memorization, and they learn how to follow Christ in their daily lives as they share Him with friends and family. More than 23 million kids have enrolled in this program since 2009. What they're rolling out very, very soon, Samaritan's Purse is going to do with Operation Christmas Child. If you see that little guy there, see that little fella right there? I think the mouse pointer's on him. Anyway, let me go to it so I can blow it up. I think I can do it. No, let me go to eCam. There it is. So, The Greatest Journey, that's the booklet, but they're doing audio programs, fully produced, and I've heard a little bits of it, and I've read 12 scripts as the part of Sam, basically the little airplane box, who's telling the stories and guiding them through, and it was an amazing script. So I'm really super excited to see the rollout of that. Anyway, like I said, I don't have any audio because they're still they're doing post-production on it, but it will be done. I think it's going to be fully animated. I'm not 100% sure, but I definitely know it's going to be, and be an audio program. This is an example of how wacky the day can get. Earlier today, I agreed on a deal to do a character voice for a batch of grapes, actually. The batch of grapes, this one particular grape, I guess he's a batch. Is that right? A batch. Is called Captain Cody, the Mighty Grape. And the client was looking for a particular voice based on the character illustration they sent me. And so I had this in my mind. He sent me a link, and it was like this youngish sounding guy. And, you know, there's only so much you can pull off. I couldn't pull off the youthful kind of thing like this. And so I said, I've got a couple of other ideas. What do you think of these? So this is kind of what I sent him. This is what I sent him. And then he chose one of these. He chose, am I still on? Yeah, here I am. He chose one of these 5 that I will play for you. First, I got to mute myself, otherwise we'll get some weird feedback. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 different options. Let me see if you can guess. I will hold up my finger before each one starts. See if you can guess which one the client actually went with.
Hey kids, I'm Captain Cody, the Mighty Grape. Want to know what makes me so great? I'm a glow food. Hey kids, I'm Captain Cody, the Mighty Grape. Want to know what makes me so great? I'm a glow food.
Hey kids, I'm Captain Cody, the Mighty Grape. Want to know what makes me so great? I'm a glow food.
Hey kids, I'm Captain Cody, the Mighty Grape. Want to know what makes me so great? I'm a glow food. Hey kids, I'm Captain Cody, the Mighty Grape. Want to know what makes me so great? I'm a glow food.
Okay, so which do you think the client went with? Anybody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They went with the kind of, hey kids, it's the Mighty Grape kind of guy. It was a mix between, oh, I'm sorry, Lori, you'll have to try again next time. She said number 4. It was actually number 3, and the reason they picked it, the illustrator producer actually played it for some kids age 4 to 10, who was the target audience on Captain Cody, the Mighty Grape. And that's kind of the vibe. They thought it was funny. They thought it was cute. The kind of, hey kids, the cartoony kind of thing. The kids were a little, kind of sophisticated, and their comedy ear was more like, up here in this range, doing this thing here, kind of campy, and I called it my super duper game showy superhero voice, just so they knew which one I was using. So yeah, that was kind of fun, and I'll be working on that probably Monday. This Friday, actually tonight, I'll be doing some editing. No, I won't. You know what? I'm not doing editing this evening. I've just made a command decision. I got a couple more. I got 2 pages of bullet points, and I'm on page 2, so I am moving right along here. And it's a little after 5:30, so yeah, we're on track. Hey, if any of you need to got to go do something, I totally understand. But I really appreciate you joining me. I've just got a couple more things if you want to stay tuned. I actually had a discussion, if you're familiar with an organization called Learning Ally, great group of folks. What they do is they work and cater to the needs of learning challenged kids. For various reasons, some dyslexic, some other learning challenges, and they bring in a big collection of volunteer narrators and voice actors, not all professional voice actors, but volunteers willing to read books, kid books of all different ages, to do textbooks. They have volunteer listeners who go through and listen to some of the stuff that is done. I've been blessed to be able to do 10 stories so far, and hope to do more. But I saw something on Facebook, on their Facebook channel recently, Learning Ally, Learning Ally, or it could be Ally, but I think it's pronounced, it's the person who runs the organization, I think, or one of the chief folks is named Ally. But Ally just is what comes out of my mouth when I say Learning Ally, because they're like, same team, going for it. So I saw on their Facebook page they were doing like this live reading of stories, where they would have the host introduce, which was a person with the Learning Ally group. I'm sticking with Ally. And one of the professional voice actors reading a story live, and there was like a Q&A back and forth. And the gentleman I talked to today, we were talking about the possibility of me doing one on their Facebook channel. He said they have had more response to that because of COVID and because of the schools, we don't know if we're going to open, the summer reading programs. A huge swelling of swelling? Where did you get that? I don't know. A huge bunch of people were watching the video. And so they're figuring out how to really push that out there. The amount of attention on them has been tremendous. Obviously, the kids are loving it. I know the parents are probably loving it. I actually tried to do nothing like what Learning Ally was doing, but I actually tried to do what was called Story Time with Troy. And I had to back away from that, not for the time. I thought I had it figured out for the time part. I brought in an arm and had my phone as a camera and was looking at the pages. But it had nothing to do with that, the technical part. It had to do with the copyright issues. And I did a lot of research before I decided to record another story. And it turns out, even if you are giving credit, even if you are, giving copyright, who owns the copyright on it, even if you are plugging the fact that this is a book, hey, I'm reading this book, but this book can be found on Amazon or at a bookstore. Even if you do all that, which I was definitely willing to do, you can still get in copyright trouble if you don't get permission from the author/copyright holder. You cannot read a piece of material, and I've done this without knowing. Ignorance doesn't matter, if they decided to come after you. I did not know. I know now, so in order to do this, I have to get the copyright permission. So until I can get that, there are a number of books I want to do, but I can't. So at this point, Storytime with Troy ain't happening, but the Learning Ally thing is on track to happen the middle of August at this point, somewhere in the second or third week of August. That's the estimated time that I'll be on the Learning Ally channel reading a story live, and it will be a Dr. Seuss book, Dr. Seuss type book, written in that rhyme pattern. It's published by them, by the same people. But I'll be able to do that live on their Facebook channel sometime in the middle of August, and I talked to them about, can I set up that second camera and actually show the kids the story pages as I'm reading it, or do you want to go old school, which is basically like, here's the story, kids, and, talk about it and do it like that, the way you would normally with a kid. And so we're still working on that technical question, but exciting. I'm really excited about doing that. And so, yeah. Okay, at this point, I have covered have I covered everything? Oh, no, I have not covered everything. Troy made dropped a challenge to himself last week on Facebook Live. What kind of challenge did you drop yourself? I'll tell you what kind of challenge I dropped myself. I talked about procrastination and following through on commitments. And I must confess, the thing I was referencing was a video production that's been on my plate or on my back burner, as I was explaining last week, for 3 months now. And every time I start to work on it, because it is a video project, I edit videos too, or I used to all the time. Now it's like, remember I told you about that 99.872%? Well, this is like the 0.00 3.1% that I do video production. Frozen. I am not complete. There we go. So I do video editing, but it's a very small percentage of what I do. But this client I also do voiceover work for. And so I've had this project since April, and I have been so swamped. Video takes like 4 to 6 hour blocks for me. Unless I can give it that much time, it takes a while to get into the rhythm of editing, especially in After Effects. For me, anyway, I used to do it every day, 10, 12 hours a day, literally for 12 years or more. And you get out of that rhythm and out of that groove, and I can't do that anymore because it can be anywhere from 6 to 8 hours of voiceover and editing, actually recording and editing on top of that. So it's impossible to focus that much time. I shouldn't say impossible. It's not been possible the last month plus with the schedule I've had. And so I said, you know what, Troy? You need to quit procrastinating. And it wasn't a matter of procrastinating. Say that a lot, procrastinating this week. It was really a matter of just not having the time there and being exhausted by the end of the day. And at the end of the day is not when you want to pick up a brand new project. You want to do it at the start of the day, and that's when all the voiceover work comes in. So I failed. I am admitting it publicly, multicasting it out there for anybody who sees this now or later. I did not do that. I shall do better next week, and we shall see. Yep. I got you. Yep. Yep. I understand exactly what you're saying, Tammy. So anyway, that's what I got. That's what I've been up to. And unless anybody's got any questions, I'm going to chime out of here at around 5:45. I will say this as we get ready to depart. If you stuck with me all the way through, God bless you. Thank you. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you for watching on the replay. I started this whole live thing back in middle of June. It was more like a challenge to myself because one of the absolute biggest fears, and I know I'm not alone in this, is turning on your camera, even your phone, and actually going live. There's something absolutely petrifying. Most people have that thing where they're afraid of public speaking. Well, I think in this day and age, that challenge of going live and screwing up, or going live and looking stupid, or going live and having, like, I'm looking at the camera and I don't know what to say kind of syndrome, I get it. The first 2 or 3 I did in June, first 2 actually, first one, I could literally feel my heart pounding in my chest. So, by the second one, third one, I didn't have the butterflies. The biggest thing was making sure I had some sort of guideline, some sort of like bullet points, some sort of organization. So if you are considering it, if you are thinking, I could never do that. 2 months ago, I was like, I really should do that. I mean, I've got the setup, I can edit videos, that's good. But there's something about going live that just pushes you, that challenges you. Even if it's just for a few minutes, just try it, just go for it. Because I can honestly say right now, I'm not nervous. I'm just sitting in my padded room on a Friday afternoon. The week's wrapped up. I got more work to do today, but basically the week is wrapped up. And I'm just hanging out. And I've decided to move it to this 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific time frame, and just kind of see what happens. A hodgepodge being the stew, the whole VoiceOver Weekly stew. It's going to be a collection of work I've done. It's going to be thoughts on the process. I might even throw in some tech tips from time to time. Might even do some live recordings if I get requested to do that, to actually show the process that I use. I'll have to figure out some more technical things to make sure I don't get feedback on that. But basically, that's all I got. I'm so thankful you guys tuned in and watched. My first multicast, I think, actually went off okay. I I didn't see anything coming in from LinkedIn, so I'm assuming it did go live. I did get verification on Restream that the event was live, so that's a good thing. So technically, everything's working. Jim, I will look at the syncing issue on YouTube and IGFX. I will look at the moving the graphic, or at least putting a black bar behind there, since the live tab is going to go up here, and it would be kind of silly to block, the branding stuff that I've got going on. So anyway, that is about all that I got. And, what would be the end of a show without some theme music? So friends, partners, you good folks out there in multicast land, I want to thank you for watching on Facebook. I want to thank you for watching on YouTube. And I want to mostly, and also on LinkedIn. We appreciate you. Y'all have a good weekend. Be safe. And we'll see you next Friday. Should have made up a longer script, shouldn't I? Sure should have. Or shorter music. Now I'm kind of forced to just let it play out. Later. Enjoy your weekend.